Hello, everyone. I'm Buford MC, and welcome back to another adventure in GregTech New Horizons. I hope you're all doing well today. So, today we are going to carry on with our oil production, and what we're going to be doing actually is oil cracking, because there is a quest that I want to complete today, and it is for propane and butane. And the basic way that we're going to be able to get these two items right here is by doing oil cracking. So if we come over to our oil area we set up last time, from our oil, which we are, I think the spout now has finally run out. I could be wrong, but I think it has run out. I haven't actually gone and checked on it recently, but it stopped. Well, sometimes it stops and then it starts again, but it's been stopped for a pretty long time now, and I believe it's still connected as well. So I think we finally run dry on oil, but we got a pretty decent amount from that spout. And we still got a lot, obviously, in here as well to process, and we've already got quite a bit of things. But what we've been getting from our oil, we set all this up last time, is we are getting some naphtha, we are getting some heavy fuel, we are getting some light fuel, and we are getting some refinery gas, and from all of this processing, we also get a byproduct of hydrogen sulfide. And we set all of this up last time. But today, we want to start using these in order to make, well, some new stuff. And the stuff we want to make is propane and butane. So the way we're going to be making these two right here is to, again, oil cracking. And the basic way that is done is we're going to have to crack the fluids that we're getting from oil, and we're going to have to combine them with another item in order to actually turn it into something else. So the basic way this is done is, if we come back here, let's take a look at propane and how we make it. Well, the way you make propane is inside of a distillery, and we have 26 options in order to do it. And if you look at the options, you'll see moderately hydrocracked naphtha, moderately hydrocracked light fuel, severely hydrocracked butadiene, lightly hydrocracked propane. Let's keep going a little more. Hydrocracked. There we go. Lightly steam cracked butane. So there's different types of options, basically, that we have in order to make this stuff right here. And in terms of oil cracking, it basically comes down to either hydrocracked or steam cracked. And hydrocracked, I believe, is from hydrogen. Steam cracked is from steam. And you have a lightly, moderately, and severely. So there's kind of three different levels, but basically that just is the amount of stuff we're going to use of hydrogen or steam in order to crack the fluids. So that's kind of the general idea of how we're going to have to do our oil cracking. So how are we going to get our propane then and our butane? Well, I've already set up the way that I want to do this, and for the propane, we are going to use moderately hydrocracked light fuel, and for the butane, we're going to use lightly hydrocracked naphtha. And the reason is I thought the ratio for these was the best, at least from what I was looking at. So let's go at the propane again. So propane, it was the first one, I believe, for each of these on these. So again, moderately hydrocracked naphtha, we get 40 liters of that. We get 44 liters of propane. If you look at the other ones, well, we could have also used moderately hydrocracked light fuel as well, but we are using, I didn't want to use the same fluid for each of these. Oh wait, actually, I got that backwards. My bad. We are using the moderately hydrocracked light fuel for the propane. It's the butane we're using lightly hydrocracked naphtha. My bad on that one. So yeah, we're using light fuel in order to get the propane, and then for the butane, we're going to be using the lightly hydrocracked naphtha, because we get 40 for 32. If you look at some of the other ones, you need like 100. Severely hydrocracked heavy fuel for 30. 200 naphtha, 25. That's severely hydrocracked. That just seems a lot less efficient. I mean, maybe this recipe's a little bit different and I'm missing something there, but I'm not really sure. So we'll see, but this is the ones I've chosen to go for, and we only need to get 32 cells of these for the quest, but, well, we'll try and see if we can, we're setting something up for these. So I have set some stuff up over here that we are going to use in order to set all of this up. So we have hydrogen coming in, we have the fuel we need coming in, we have steam coming in for the power. So all we need to do is actually start by setting this up. And I've got some stuff in here, of course, as usual, to prepare this. So we're going to need all of this right here. And we might even need some of these as well. I think I've got all the pipes set up, so I think we're good on that front. So the general way this is going to work is for both of these setups, because of course there's two things we're making, so we need two setups. There are 5 machines that we're going to need in order to get everything to work. Well, I say machines. Not everything's a machine. But we're basically going to need... Let's see. Oh, I take that back. It's actually 6 per. We're going to need 1 ultra-low voltage fluid tank, 1 basic distillery, 1 basic chemical reactor, 1 low voltage fluid tank, and 2 steam turbines, of course, to power the 2 machines, because these do use, I believe, 30 EU a tick. So that's how that's going to work. So the basic order of this is the turbines, of course, are going to come down here, and... yeah, I think they're in the right spot. So put you... no, they're not in the right spot. I take that back, actually. We need to bring that steam pipe up one more. I just realized that. Let's grab our backpack quick. And, oh, we have just enough of these pipes, actually, to do that. Okay, well, that's good news. Let's go ahead, then, and... yeah, we're going to drag you up by 1. Yeah, and now we're going to put the steam turbines in there. Have you facing up, and then we'll do the same on this side here. There we go. Put you there, and put you right there. And then put in our 2 turbines. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So that's how we're going to have the turbines coming in. We are going to be able to see them. I think they do look quite nice. So let's do that, and then we are going to put in our first things here. So we'll start with, actually, what is this one right here? This is the light fuel. So this is the one that we're going to be making the propane in, right? So I'm going to connect that pipe up last. But actually, no, we can connect it up now, I think, because it's only going to start by going into a ultra-low voltage fluid tank. This is how we're going to start the line right here. So, in fact, yeah, we can go ahead and start connecting that up. Let's grab some more pipes. Small bronze fluid pipes. And we'll go ahead and start filling you in. So that'll start filling in with light fuel. And that's going to fill in there. So we have that, and then we might as well put the other one in here. We can do them kind of at the same time. So you are going to go here, and this one is going to fill up with naphtha. Because this line right here is going to make the butane. Put you in, and that should start filling in with naphtha. Lovely. Right, so the first step then, in order to do this, is we have to make the actual crack stuff. So we have to crack the oil products that we're getting. So we have to make the moderately hydrocrack light fuel and the lightly hydrocrack naphtha. So the way we do this is, if we start with the moderately hydrocrack light fuel, we are going to need to use a chemical reactor and on circuit 2 with some hydrogen and some light fuel. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to have the hydrogen directly pumped into the chemical reactor, which is coming in from the pipes up there. And we're going to have, let's get back to that again. And we're going to have 1 cell of light fuel. And I just realized we have no cells. So let's go ahead and grab some from upstairs. I always forget one thing, don't I? Let's grab a couple of cells. Let's see, what do we have in here? Okay, we have, 32 should be enough. Yeah, 32 should be fine, I think, for this. So let's head back down here now with the cells. Right, it is dark here a little bit, isn't it? Let's put a torch right in the middle. Yeah, that should be fine. Also, it is nighttime, so let's go to sleep. And then we'll start setting up the rest of this here. So let's see if we can do this now. So what we're going to need next is we'll do the chemical reactors. So the chemical reactors are going to go right here. And the other chemical reactor is going to go right there. Now, do we need a circuit for any of this? Let's take a look. Yes, we do need a circuit. It's circuit 2 for the light fuel line. So we want to make sure we set up the circuits here right, and then the lightly hydrocrack naphtha, you're going to be on circuit 1. Alright, so we got that in, and I think we're safe to go ahead and start filling in the hydrogen, I think. Let's do that right now. You'll start filling up with hydrogen. Alright, perfect. Alright, and then we'll put in the rest of the stuff. So next we just put in the distillery. And we'll put the low voltage fluid tank, which is where the propane and the butane will be stored in. Right, and let me set up the circuits for these. So to make propane, we're making it out of the moderately hydrocracked light fuel. So that is going to be circuit 4. Again, if the circuit is wrong on this port here, we're going to get something completely different. So we got to be really careful about this. But yeah, moderately hydrocracked light fuel, just got to double check. Propane, circuit 4, and this is the light fuel one. There we go, circuit 4, and then for the lightly hydrocracked naphtha to make the butane, we go with circuit 1 for this one. Alright, so there we go. All of that should be set up now. So we're getting a hydrogen in, and now we have our ultra-low voltage fluid tank here with the light fuel. So I'm going to give you a couple of cells. Let's do... I think 4 will be fine for now, because this port right here is going to take 12 seconds a pop. I think it's the same for you. Nope, it's 8 seconds for you. That's still fine. I can give you 4 cells as well, and we're going to need to give these two guys a not chemical. We're going to give a conveyor module to the chemical reactor, so it's going to push it into the chemical reactor. This should activate here. Yep, there it goes. So now we have to make sure we get the correct item here out of this. Lightly hydrocracked naphtha. Moderately hydrocracked light fuel. Lovely. Right, so we do get an empty cell back. So we're going to do the same thing we did when we were making, I think it was a sulfuric acid, and we're going to push this back into here. Basically, the way that will be done is we will use the auto output of the machine to do that. So all we do is something like that. We set the fluid, no, item auto output. And we also have to make sure that you are set to allow input. And we should push that back through. Perfect. And then you need to be allowing input. And you fill back up. Lovely. Right, so now we have our moderately hydrocracked light fuel, and we have our lightly hydrocracked naphtha. So next we're going to push these guys forward into the distillery. Everything should be set up here now. And we should start getting stuff, actually, just like that. So we'll push you that way. Oh, no. Not that way, my bad. We need to put the covers on that. Let's do that quick. Cells are still in there, perfect. Are they going to go back in? I gotta make sure that they do. Oh, because I didn't set the screwdriver. That's the last step I forgot. So we have to do it like that. Input from output side allowed. Input from output side allowed. Yeah, there's all these little things you have to remember. All right, so we got that done. So now we're going to add the pumps. So we put a pump on to here, and off we go. And that already should be giving us propane and butane. And we're actually getting it at a decent speed. And then the last step, well, we don't even need a pump for that step. We just put you there, and we put you there. Set the fluid auto output. And these are now filling in with propane, and this is filling up with butane. So for the quests to count, we're going to need about 32 cells. So this might take a couple of minutes. So looks like everything there is set up. We're getting these pushing along. Yeah, looks like that's working. The cells are going back and forth as I had hoped. And we are also pushing along here. And this is really fast, actually. Look at that. Wow, that is really, really fast. All right, so this shouldn't actually take all that long, but it will take probably a couple of minutes. So let's put some stuff away into our backpack. And while we are waiting for all of that to finish, there is a couple other things that I want to try and do today. And I want to try and get some quests done. So we're going to head on upstairs. I will go check on that in a couple of minutes again, just to make sure everything is working. But what I want to do today is, I was looking over here into our little loot bag area. So for episode 100 coming up, we're going to do a big loot bag opening. And I noticed we only have LV loot bags. And there's other different kind of loot bags, but so far we've only really been amassing LV loot bags. And I was thinking, we need to try and get some different kinds of loot bags for episode 100. So there's some quests I want to try and do that will give us some different types of loot bags. I'm not sure if they're really good or not. But I want to try and get some more loot bags. So the ones I was looking at were, let's see if I can find it. Oh, we have some quests here that turn in, actually. Oh, this is from the distilling and stuff. Yeah, I completed some quests here as well. So, okay, we might as well turn these in while we're here then. Loot bag LV. or 20 cells. All right, we'll take the loot bag. Why not? And then desulfurizing for light fuel. 10 steel or another loot bag. Might as well be the loot bag. And then we got some more stuff we can turn in here. Combustion generators. I think I only have one of those. I'll have to make another at some point. And then... sulfuric acid. I can turn that one in. We'll probably do that when we head back down. Do we have the cells on us for that? Yeah, we do. Right, so that wasn't what I wanted to do just now. But what I did want to do was, I think it was... Let's see if I can find it. Getting around. Here we go. There was some simple quests here I wanted to do. It was the rubber boat. Or the rubber dinghy. This was going to allow us to get a Transportation 3 class loot bag. I have no idea what's going to be in there, but we might as well add it to the pot. So I think this is a fairly simple thing to make. Rubber dinghy is just a matter of using rubber sheets, soft mallet, and a saw. Or we can use an assembler, damage rubber dinghy. Okay, we can't do that. Right, so we have to do an extruder, maybe? Extruder-shaped boat. Okay, well, let's just do it this way. Then we need a couple of rubber sheets. Do we have any on us? Yes, we do. Can I just do that here? Let's see. Yes, I can. I can have a few. Right, rubber dinghy. There we go. That should be a quest just like that. Let's see if that gives us a quest. There we go. Rubber boat. So that will give us a Transportation 3 class loot bag. I definitely don't need those items, so we'll take that. And, should we give this thing a try? So apparently this boat, I don't know actually how this one works. It's probably better than a normal boat. Let's give it a shot then. Why not? We made it. We might as well give it a try. So we have the little area here. Let's see how this works. I mean, it is a boat, so... Doesn't seem much different. Although I wonder if it, like, breaks. Yeah, it does break, and you get a damaged rubber dinghy. Right, so then you have to repair it with a couple of rubber sheets, or just one in an assembler. Okay, so... For boat travel, I guess that's a little bit more efficient than the normal boat, because that gives you, like, planks and sticks and just makes a big mess. With this one, I just have to come around and grab one rubber sheet, throw it in the assembler, and it's back to normal. Let's see. Yep, looks like it is. Yep, rubber dinghy. Alright. Well, that was interesting right there. We'll hold on to that for now. So that was the rubber dinghy, and we do get that loot bag there. And next we have, what's this one? Boat shape. Really? Yes, for the more advanced boats, you need a new shape form. You need to make an extruder first to progress further, but we already have that. Okay, casting form, boat shape, extruder shape boat. Right, blank cast. This is some old stuff, I think, to do, I think, in the smeltery, I believe. Do we have any of these blank casts? If we do, it's going to be in this chest, and I don't see any. Yeah, I don't think we would have any around here. How do we make these again? Molten brass. Okay. So, I think we do have some of that, actually. Brass. Tembaga. Brass, 27. Alright. We just need one for now. So, we'll go ahead and put that in. I guess I could have made a few, but, well, too late now. Let's put one in there, and ink sac. Put that away in there. Turn off that magnet. Also, while we're here, let's put the rubber dinghy away. Where do we want to put that? Tools? It's not really a tool, it's a boat. I mean, that's probably the most appropriate spot for now. I don't really have anything for, like, transportation anyways, so that'll be fine. How's brass looking? There we go. And then I think, was it just putting it in here like that? Yes, it was. Casting table, blank cast. Alright, so that's how we get that guy. Alright, so let's head back over here again. So, casting form, boat shape, we need the wire cutter and the file. Alright, so this seems like a fairly simple quest to do. Casting form, boat shape. So we'll put that there, with our file there. And now we need to make an extruder shape, which is back to the smeltery, and that looks like 4 steel ingots will be needed. Right, so let's head back down to the smeltery then. We haven't had to use it for this in a while, actually. So let's put those in there. And then put that guy there. And let's go to sleep. It is nighttime again. Right, how are you coming along? Okay, that takes a little bit longer, I think steel does. So while we're waiting for that, let's head back down and grab that sulfuric acid to get that quest done. And I also want to make sure and see how we're coming along with the butane and propane. So, oh wow, 30, 35. Okay, we're pretty much done with these already. I just realized, though, we actually are going to need some more of the cells to pick them up because we need 32 cells each. While we're here, though, let's grab 20 sulfuric acid. Where's that at? Cells. Okay, we'll pick that up and we'll pop those back in. Get the 20, and then I'll just drop those back off and we'll head back up again. So that should be a quest. Lovely. Let's put you back in, and we'll run back up. 37, 33. Those are already done, actually. So that's actually coming along quite nicely right there. I am curious, how much hydrogen are we using, though? Because we're using a lot of hydrogen right now for stuff. I'm sure this is dropping. Oh, it's actually not dropped that much. Okay, that's actually quite surprising. All right, we're doing quite well on hydrogen, then. So let's head back up here. We should have that, was it extruder shape or something like that? There we go. Casting form, boat shape. Oh no, I had the, my bad. We have to put the steel on it. There we go, that'll be better. So we'll get that knocked out as well. That will give us another loot bag. I don't think we need these anyways. Right, and that actually gives us access to different types of boats as well. There we go, extruder shaped boat. Right, so we got that done, and we might as well take another loot bag. Right, so now we unlock carbon fiber boat. Unlike all other boats, this amazing carbon fiber canoe is completely indestructible. So we needed raw carbon mesh. Oh, I think I remember this. This is, yep, polyethylene. Which, speaking of polyethylene, we are going to be getting it very soon. My goal is to have it before we hit episode 100, which, of course, is coming up very soon. So I'm thinking we're going to get polyethylene next episode. That's the big goal I'm hoping to achieve then. But, yeah, this thing right here, we use it for... Oh, we can make a rubber dinghy with this as well. Carbon fiber canoe, and then the electric boat. Oh, okay. 8 iron. Is there a quest for that as well? Oh, it's electric boat. We need one of these. So what is this here? Inflatable boat. Okay. So... Oh, you need a pump for that one. Gives us another one of these. Ah, Transportation 2 class. Oh, let's do it. We're in kind of a boating mood today, making a lot of boats, so we might as well keep going. I just need a pump, it looked like, for that. I do have a spare. In fact, I don't even need to take that out. We can just do it like this, I think. Inflatable. Yeah, there we go. Inflatable boat. Okay, so let's put that pump away. Grab the wrench. Why did we need this again, then? Extruder. Why did we need to make this extruder shape to do this? A bit weird, isn't it? Right, so we got that done, and now we get the electric boat. The electric boat works mostly like a vanilla boat, chugging through the water at a decent pace. It will hopefully drop us up once you crash, which is slightly nicer than usual. Does it need to be powered if it's an electric boat? That's all well and good, but what if you utilize the electric engine wearing an energy storage device in your chest plate? Cause the boat to drain energy from it and propel you forward at supersonic speed. Now, that sounds interesting. Electric boat, then. So how do we do this? We need the electric boat hull and then the actual electric boat. Okay, that's actually not too bad. And I get a transportation to... Ooh, aluminum casing. Just a single one, though. Probably not worth it. Or 64 lily pads. Absolutely not worth it. Right, electric boat hull. That will take a minute. So we needed iron for that. I always get one extra. Why do I do that? Let's just put this in the extruder, then. Extruder. I'll take you out for now. I don't have anywhere to put you right now. Let's put you there for the moment. I need to get one of those item holders for, In fact, do I have one sitting around somewhere? Let's see. I know we made one once, but I don't think it's being used. I could be off about that. Item holder. That. Item placeholder. Basic item holder. No, I don't see it anywhere. And it's not that hard to make, but... Oh no, what is that? I don't know. Error coin. Okay. Uh, maybe it was over here somewhere? I mean, I used it on the alloy smelter. I don't know where it would be. Right, so while we're waiting for that, we might as well make this electric bow at this point. What do we need? Do we have everything for this? No, we're missing a steel plate of all things. Do I have some of those in here? Yes, I do. I have a stack of steel plates in there. Alright, let's go put those away. And also, let's not forget to grab some cells. We have some downstairs as well. I need to start making more cells, don't I? How do we do that? Extruder, cell. 2 to 1. What about bending machine? That would be from 2 tin to 1. 2 tin in 10 seconds. Or an extruder would give us 2 to 1 and 6.4, but I would need that. I don't have that yet. Bending machine. We also need the tin plates. Do we have any of those? I use them. Let's just make some tin plates then while I'm up here. I think we're fine on the cells for now. Oh, I have some tin plates in here, I just noticed. Let's take a stack of those out then. That's fine for now, I think. We'll be fine. So much happening. You forget what's already happened at some points. Alright, so we should have that electric bolt hole in here then, right? There we go, electric bolt hole. And should be able to make the electric boat. There we go. Alright, this one I'm actually quite curious to try out, actually. So, let's hold on to you. And there should be a quest. There we go. Alright, let's try this electric boat out. I am very curious to see it. I don't think we can actually power it. Like, let's see, what did the quest say again? Device... Wearing an energy storage device in your chest plate slot. Right, we don't have any of that yet, so I can't really power this thing, but is it any different as is? Ooh, that looks interesting. Strange-looking boat. Oh my goodness. Is it just me, or is this thing extremely slow if it's not being powered? Really? So I guess the only real use for this is for it to be powered, then. Oh, it's a little faster there. Yeah, it doesn't break, though. Alright, let's take you away, then. Alright, that was interesting. And then, I guess we might as well try the inflatable boat. Whoa. That was interesting. So how do you work? Yeah, you're much better. And I believe it said this one was indestructible. So I think we can just crash into a wall. And we should be just fine. Let's go, let's crash over here and see what happens. Yep, perfectly fine. Oh, we can leave that boat out, I think, if I ever need to go down the river for any reason. Boat travel is pretty efficient still. Even though the hang glider might be a little bit faster. Right, so let's put this electric boat away, and now we can go ahead, I think, and claim our butane and propane and stuff. Where was I putting this stuff in here? Yep. I'm going to have to upgrade that chest at some point. It's starting to get full up. Usually when I need to upgrade the chest to the next tier, I usually wait till they're filling up. Right, so now we can go ahead down here. Let's drop some coins off as well. Let's put you there. Put you there. Alright, so let's go ahead then and pick up our butane and propane for the quest. We also should have some extra cells sitting around over here. There we go. And we're gonna need, I believe, 32 of each it was for this quest. Let's go take a look. LV, butane, yeah, propane and butane. We need 32 each. Right, so this is actually full up completely now. Wow. Wow, they're both full up. Wow, this was fast. I gotta turn this off, because otherwise we're gonna have some issues here. Let's turn off the fluid auto output for a minute, and then we'll put you in. So 32 propane cells. Put those back. And then 32 of the butane cells. Put those back. Alright, so we got that taken care of. So propane and butane's done. And then that did unlock a quest here, LPG. I was looking at this one too, because this seems like a pretty decent fuel. 320,000 EU per cell, and it wants us to make 66. So, the way you make this is actually with propane or butane inside of a centrifuge. You actually get a decent amount. You get more if you use butane. So actually, what we're going to do is... let's take, like, I don't know, 20 cells of this. Let's try this for a moment here. Let's try this here. Let's see, because we do have our centrifuge. I don't think we're processing anything in here, and I think we do have an input. Do we have an input hatch on you? I actually don't know if I do. I know I had an output hatch. Maybe actually this thing... no, I think this thing can't use it, then. Let's see. I believe... input bus, output bus, steam hatch, output hatch. Yeah, I think this thing can't process fluids. So, we might have to use a single block centrifuge, which I don't know where we might have one at. And it is nighttime again. Where's my sleeping bag? Let's go to bed here quick. Do we have a centrifuge up here? Extractor? No, I don't see one there. Do I have a centrifuge in my spare chest here? Yes, we do have a centrifuge. Okay. All right, well, let's install that somewhere then. This is a fluid, so... do we have a spare tank, actually? I think this one here, yeah. Alright, let's give this all a shot, then. So, we needed 66 cells, so... wake you. Basic centrifuge. Nah, we don't need to connect that. We needed a wire cutter. Put that there. Basic centrifuge. We are running out of spots for machines again, aren't we? Put auto output, put these in, let's see what happens. Or do we need a cell for that? I just remembered. No cell. Okay, and we are getting LPG. Alright, we're getting it at a decent rate as well. We might need a little bit more, though. In fact, I gave it 20. 32 is the amount it gave us for the quest. That might be the amount we need to make that much of the LPG. So let's get 12 more cells, then. Nope, that's the wrong tank. Butane. Oh, and I almost forgot to turn these things back on, didn't I? Fluid auto output. And fluid auto output. Right, that's actually not going to empty. It's already full up. Wow. This was really quick. Also, we need to cover those pipes as well. So let me see if I have any of the tin plates on me. That there, put that there, and that there. That looks good. Alright, so let's go see how that LPG's coming along, because we might be able to knock that quest out as well. Let's take a look. Already 21, and it's already gone through all of that. Okay, we might actually need a lot more than this. Right, well, I'll fill that thing back in. But, yeah, I wanted 66 cells of this stuff, so... yeah, that's a lot. Right, in fact, this thing won't even be able to carry that much, but I'll probably hold on to the cells. Right, what I'll probably just do is I'll probably finish that one on my own. But there was actually a few more quests I wanted to do as well. Trying to get different loot bags. Let's see, getting around, we did those. We'll claim all these at the end. Forestry and multi-farms. This is the other one I wanted to do, because it can give us some of these Forest Ranger basic loot bags, so different kind of ones. So, centrifuge, I don't really think we need this, but it will give us the loot bag. We might as well do it. It's not too expensive. Copper nickel. Yes. Let's see. How do you make this again? Centrifuge. Bookmark it. Suppose I didn't need to do that since it actually comes down here. And we are missing small steel gears. I should have some in here. Copper nickel plates. We do have a little bit of that. We can go ahead and do that. And we do have the sturdy casings, I believe. Yep, sturdy casings. We have 2 of them, in fact. So we could do the centrifuge. Could do another one. What about this one here? The fermenter gives us a loot bag as well. A little bit more expensive, but I think it's doable. We are getting more copper nickel, I'm seeing, though. That in there. Pick you up. How long do you take? Not long. Get that right there. And centrifuge. And fermenter. We're missing the steel gears. I have 2 there. Fermenter as well. And that should be more quests. Lovely. Alright, so some quests are being knocked out. And there was one more I saw, which was... Actually, no, there was 2 more, actually. It was this one here. This was a simple-looking quest. Just want some iron foil and fine iron wire. So that is a matter of... just throwing an iron in here. Oh, this is on circuit 1. I was using it for something because this one was occupied. Let's put that back circuit 10. We just need 1 in there. And then we need 1 fine iron wire, so 1 in there. Actually, I think it needed vacuum tubes as well, didn't it? We don't have any up here. Yep, vacuum tubes, iron screws. Oh, it needs the carpenter as well. Alright, I don't think I want to do that one right now, actually. That's, I don't feel like dealing with the carpenter at this point. I'll worry about that one later, but I got these made up, so I'll put those there for now. There was one more simple one, though. It was this one here, the grafter. Yep, and that gives us a loot bag as well. Bronze and some sticks. So, pretty simple one right there. Grafter. I think this is for trees. Yep, there we go. There's a grafter. Bronze plates back. That and that back. And that is going to be, again, I think it's for, like, forestry trees or something like that. We might have to get into that at some point. And what was that I just got? Trigger CTH unlock. Don't know what I got, but that did, yeah, that did unlock a couple of things here, tree-related. Moran's Guide to Better Trees, okay. We'll put that in with the tools for now. And, yeah, we're getting a couple things. We'll put these forestry machines in here. This is my little forestry chest. Or barrel, I should say. And, yeah, I think that was it for today. So, yeah, we got a lot done. We got our butane and we got our propane set up down there. We got plenty of it. That comes in quick. So... that's good. Why is there a pump on here? I just noticed that. How long has that pump been there? Let's get rid of you. We don't need that there. Interesting. Alright, let's put that away. Alright, so let's go ahead then and claim our quest, and then we can go ahead and add to our little loot bag chest here. So we did complete a lot of quests. So collecting the hybrids, we get a proven grafter and a forest ranger loot bag and some coins. You give me a loot bag, forest ranger basic. This one again, wax caps, I don't really think we need that. Forest Ranger Basics, fine, and a lot of coins. And LV Age, we got this one, Butane and Propane. We can get some biogas. Biogas, do we have any biogas? Methane, ethanol. LPG. LPG, I actually had 2 cells of this already. Interesting. Right, I don't have any biogas. I don't know how worth it it's going to be. But, what is biogas? Right, seems like you get it from biomass or methane. Let's just take that one then. We already have enough LV loot bags. I know we're trying to get a lot more for the big loot bag opening, but it's only 1 LV loot bag. So, let's put that into here then, with our other cells. Alright, so we got that done. And what else did we complete? We got getting around. We completed some boats, so... raw carbon mesh. Wait a minute now. That's an interesting one. Hang on. Let's take a look here. Raw carbon mesh. Well, we're going to be getting polyethylene. I think that needs polyethylene. Because... yeah, let me actually look at the uses here quickly for raw carbon mesh. Because that was that's an interesting... if I can spell correctly. Well, I can't spell it all right now. Raw carbon mesh. Yeah, that one right there. Because that was to make... there was some use for that. Yeah, that's how you make the item filter. Actually, that would give us enough to make one of those item filters. The reason we needed polyethylene was to make this, but it's only 4 of them, so... probably not that worth it. And again, we're going to be getting polyethylene next episode anyway, so... Let's take the loot bag, why not? And then the electric boat, we're going to be taking the loot bag as well. And is there any other quests we need to claim? Nope, working with oil. Sulfuric acid, we get another loot bag. Lovely. Right, so we got all of that done there, and that should be everything. Yes, it is. Right, so we got quite a few loot bags here. Right, so let's go add it all to the pot then, and we'll go ahead and end off the episode then. So we are ending... I believe this is the 98th episode. We now have 16 LV loot bags, 3 Forest Ranger Basic, 2 of the Transportation 3 class, and 2 Transportation 2 class. So that is a grand total of 23 loot bags so far. So we are making progress, and we should get some more loot bags next time as well as we push for polyethylene. So yeah, we set up butane and propane. We got some quests done, and next time we're gonna head back down here. We're gonna finish, I think, the big plan of getting polyethylene. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. All this is working out. In fact, all these have already stopped, I just noticed. Why did they... Oh, that's the distillery, my bad. Oh, we've run out of naphtha. Wow, okay, that has drained our naphtha supply. Well, it's not that big of a deal. We'll get more. Yeah, this is actually using a lot of stuff here, isn't it, for butane? Well, I'll think about that. But the good news is that we actually don't need the naphtha. Before we end off, actually, I should say one more thing. So there was a quest. Actually, we're in the right tab right here. So this quest chapter right here is actually going to work our way into getting ethylene, which is the thing we need in order to get polyethylene. And the way this quest actually mentions it is we're going to have to use severely steam-cracked refinery gas, which is actually in this tank here. So we don't need the naphtha. I know it mentioned, I think last time, naphtha was used for making polyethylene, but according to the quest book, this is the thing we want to use. So we'll see. Let's actually take a look at it ourselves. And severely steam-cracked refinery gas, propane, ethane, ethylene, 1,000 to 300, and a tiny pile of carbon. Or we can get helium. Okay. Yeah, so ethylene, that is an option there. So I think that's what we're going to probably do next time. We're going to work on... We'll probably do this quest here, and then we'll turn in ethylene, and we'll probably push all the way to polyethylene. I'm thinking we're going to have a tank for it set up over here in this corner. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to do next time. Big episode next time coming up for polyethylene. I'm quite excited. But yeah, we got our work done for today. We started doing some oil cracking, and we made some progress on some quests as well. So I think that is where we are going to end this episode. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.